the Borderless Love.
Lovingly, Bon took hold of Ekta's hand. She too was eagerly looking forward to such an expression of love from him. With the certainty of true love, they loitered half of the day on the university campus in America. A permanence of union reflected on the faces. The divinity of passion had inspired Bon to convey his desire to marry Ekta. Her willing as well as modest acceptance brightened the face with radiance. Much enthused, he asked where they would be united forever. His preference was for the native land, Canada, where his parents lived. Besides, during their friendship, he had learnt well of Hindu rites and rituals. Putting an end to the confusion, she replied, "When we go to Canada, the marriage would be as per the desire of his family. In India, the stamp on the conjugal bliss would be with all the fanfare of Hindu style. Pretty colorful and time-taking, that is, but enjoyable." This way, more than half of the day was rejoiced in the fervor of yearning spread even in the surroundings. Finally, they moved to their rooms. Bon also understood that the time spent together was the loss of one day of studies. Planning was made to fill the gap by giving extra time to work and resume Ph.D. thesis completion with all the sincerity. Next day, as usual, Ekta reached the library but with added charm and attraction, and Bon came with a proposal to visit his family. It was relevant for all to meet. As soon as all the formalities of paperwork finished, the lovebirds reached Canada. Over there, Mrs. and Mr. Gilbert, the parents of Bon, welcomed with open arms. Ekta too touched their feet. In all, overall jubilance created a high-spirited merriment. After dinner, all of a sudden, Mr. Gilbert felt fatigue and retired to his room. The remaining threesome shared much and planned a lot. The idea of marriage in both the countries appealed much to Mrs. Gilbert. Outfits, menus, venues, guest lists, and much more were talked about. Next morning, Mr. Gilbert had to be shifted to hospital. By evening, his kidney problem was such that a transplant was prescribed. So soon, euphoria had tumbled down. To manage the traumatic pressure, Bon stayed back and suggested Ekta to go back to the university. The thesis completion must not be delayed. There in Canada, Bon found out that India has much advanced medical facilities and also affordable transplants. As soon as possible, they would go to India. Nonetheless, this information disturbed Ekta. Why her motherland? The skills of medical science over there are a matter of pride, but the darkness of poverty makes people sell their organs. Mr. Gilbert drinks heavily and damages kidney. The poor sell kidney to enjoy drinks. She had read in Indian newspapers that the rackets of Gundas commit the crime of illegally trading the human organs. Poverty makes it easily possible. Lots of children are delivered for economic or personal security reasons, but unfortunately are lost amidst the jungle of misery. Poor resources leave the lifeless body on the Mother Earth lie nude. Cannibals are still there, but the dead are of no use to them. Under this pressure, Ekta was not able to concentrate on studies. Exhausted, she went to sleep. The visions of the destitute, craving for bread, for livelihood hammered her thoughts heavily. Too much of turmoil cropped up fast and furious. Finally struggling with self regarding her emotions and social demands, she decided to fight for others in need of her services. Her father too died for the nation. Her mother is a social reformer. She has to follow them. She won't be able to save all. Somehow, one day, there might be more to join her. With this spectrum of social welfare envisioned, she can't marry. She must accept world as a close-knit part of life. Live for the good of others in the vicinity at least. Then there might be another vicinity and another. Coming to the decision confirmed, she dialed Bon to tell of the future plan of action and the cancellation of marital bliss. Solace for self and the surroundings leads renunciation to the ultimate. Dropping the very first phase of love-laden bride, she moved to the love unbound for all.